Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin and I upload a whole bunch of different types of videos on this channel, mainly surrounding true crime and psychological cases, as well as a little bit of fashion and lifestyle sprinkled in where I can. It's always a mouthful to say. So for today's video, I'm actually really excited to make this video because I don't remember the last time I have done one on my channel. So I'm going to be doing a Q&A today, but this one is specifically a true crime Q&A. So I asked on Instagram and also on my community tab on YouTube, which, side note, if you don't check those, you definitely should, because I'm always posting updates on those too. But I specifically asked for questions for a true crime Q&A over on those two. I'm sorry for all the noise. It's so windy outside, but it's really warm, so I can't shut any of the windows. So yes, I'm going to be working through your guys' questions. I thought it would be a little bit more interesting since I have got so many of you guys are new here that haven't really been following me for a while. So I thought it would be a nice little chance to get to know each other, talking about true crime bits basically. So I'm pretty sure that when you see this video, I will be at Summer in the City, which I'm so excited for. It's just less than a week away from when I'm filming this, and honestly, I can't wait. I'm so excited to see all of you. So if any of you are watching this video kind of after Sitsi and you attended Sitsi and we took photos or anything, please tag me in them or send them to me or something, because I would love to see everything. So I've got my laptop in front of me here. I'm going to start off with the responses from my Instagram story because I got the most on there, and then I'll work through some of the YouTube community tab ones if there's any different ones from the ones on the Instagram stories. So I did get a lot of repeated, but I thought I would basically just kind of answer the ones that seem to be the most popular, that most people seem to have asked. When did your interest in true crime start? Now, ever since I can remember, have kind of had this strange fascination, and I'm sure a lot of other true crime YouTubers will say the same thing. Since I can remember, I've been interested in things like mystery related, kind of true crime related, I guess. I was always fascinated with things like serial killers and unsolved crimes and trying to solve mysteries myself. It was always just a fascination. I'd always watch all of the really commercialized TV shows, like Criminal Minds, The Mentalist. I've always loved those, and literally I don't have a specific answer to that question because ever since I can remember I was interested in this, so sorry. If you could solve one true crime case, what case would it be? Now, obviously if I could, I'd solve everything. There are so many cases that I cover on this channel that are disappearances that seem to have absolutely no information about them whatsoever, that they just seem to vanish, or people's remains just appear to turn up out of the blue with no indication of what happened to them. All of those cases are awful, and if I could, I would solve all of those instantly. But if we're talking about kind of one of the more widely known cases, then I definitely have to say the Lisa Froon and Chris Kramer's case. That one is so baffling, and I think the actual truth would be so fascinating to hear because there can't be a simple explanation. Every theory is complicated and it's just an entirely strange case. Now, I do have a video on that I made a long time ago, maybe over a year ago, so it's not my best work because I've definitely obviously developed my research skills and things, but if I remember, I'll link some other YouTubers' really good covers of the case down below, possibly some more recent ones. Yeah, I think that might have to be up there. If I had to pick one of the more wider known cases, I think that would be one of the ones I'd like to know the answers to. What's the hardest thing about researching for videos? Love you. I love you too. I think a lot of people would assume that the most difficult thing about researching the cases that I research and a lot of other YouTubers research is that they are such serious and dark topics that it's kind of hard to research sometimes, and it definitely does get like that. But I think when you make it a regular thing and you constantly do it, this is obviously my job, so when I'm constantly researching these cases, literally all I do is look at these true crime cases and all of these horrific things that have happened to people. You learn to almost not detach yourself, but you're talking about it from a presenting point of view, so it doesn't always affect you, or you don't let it affect you basically. I know I don't. I just actively try to not get caught up in how awful it is, and in some videos it shows that it's really hit me, like in the Sylvia Likens video that I made recently. I think most people agree that's possibly one of the worst cases I've ever heard of. Most graphic details, definitely, and that one hit me hard. But I think that was kind of what most people would assume your answer would be, but for me in reality, the most difficult thing about researching is the pressure to get everything right. I always say in my disclaimers at the start of my video that I'm only able to access certain information, and it really is the case. I think sometimes people forget that I can't always get every piece of knowledge, that everyone maybe close to the case has, especially if it's not in this country. People are always saying, why don't you speak to the family members, or why don't you request official documents? And sometimes you can, but it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, especially if they haven't taken place in the same country as you. It's just really, really complicated, and sometimes there just isn't information out there. So I think the hardest thing is the pressure. You want to do these cases justice, you want to do justice to the families, and that everyone knew the victim, and it's just a lot of pressure sometimes. Someone's asked what is the most disturbing case that I know about, and I think the first one that pops to mind in terms of the more recent ones that I've done is definitely Sylvia Likens. As I said, if you haven't already watched that video over on my channel, it is very, very graphic. I had to put like a long disclaimer at the start of the video because it's a lot of information and it's just horrendous. The entire thing is awful. What do you think is the most interesting case that you've ever covered? Now, I'm a little bit biased. I know this question specifically has asked me what case I found the most interesting. I always say, and I think you guys know this, that the videos that I make that I find the most personally interesting to me are the psychology experiment videos, because obviously if you didn't know, if you are new here, I've just completed my psychology degree. I have studied psychology for years now, and that has obviously always been kind of my passion. And so when I was able to sort of introduce psychology related videos into the content that I already love and, you know, make, it was really like a huge thing for me. So they are definitely the most interesting to me because I'm just more inclined to be fascinated by the psychological workings of cases and stories and things. So I think it'd have to be any of these psychology videos that I make. Which, side note, I keep saying in all the psychology videos I do, like I said, they are my favourite to film, and a lot of you guys seem to really like them. I think it's because they're the most sort of personal to me in a sense, like they are the most me thing. I don't know how to put it, like it makes my videos slightly different because it's definitely my area of interest. So if you guys have anything remotely psychology related that you'd like me to do a video on, please leave it down below or on my request a case form, because I'm seriously struggling with inspiration. I seem to have covered the majority of the big psychology experiment cases, and I really want to make more for you guys. So let me know anything psychology related and I'll give it a research. Does talking about death and crime so much impact you mentally? So this goes back a little bit to what I was just saying about how you kind of have to, if you're choosing this as your area of focus, I've definitely spoken about it actually with a couple of the other YouTubers, so like the little true crime crew that we've got going on. We've definitely all kind of spoken about this before, that you have to remove yourself from it, have to remove a personal attachment to it, purely because as much as you want to relate to the case and you want to be able to feel it and do it justice, if it's your job, you would be wearing yourself down so much if every time you researched a case or covered a case you were becoming emotionally attached. It would just be so heavy for you, because like I said, this is what we do full time, so I'm constantly researching new cases. Even if I'm not making a video on it, I'm always looking at cases, even current ones that I don't actually make videos on. I'm always reading true crime things, and if I was emotionally attached to every single one, it would be so mentally draining. Every now and then there will be a point where I kind of have to remove myself and go, okay, you know, calm down, you know, you need to take a breath, take a breather, take a moment. Sometimes specific videos like the Sylvia Likens one, I did have to take a break at several points in the video, just because even if you're not emotionally attached to it, you are still talking about some very, very heavy subjects, and I definitely find that I every now and then will have to just sort of take a breather. I've received comments in the past, especially on my older videos, about seeming quite cold and being a little bit robotic about cases, but unfortunately I think that's, in my opinion, the better way. I'd rather seem like that than constantly getting so upset about every case, because I hope that you guys know that I am upset about every one of these cases, that these cases do affect me, but I can't show it in a video. You know, it's not what I'm there to do. I'm not there to upset you or make it about me and how I feel about the case. I'm there to relay facts, and yeah, I just thought that, I don't know where I was going with that, but I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say there. Someone's asked if I will be doing any series, and I really would love to. I was hoping to do like a psychology series. A little while ago I did a horror film series that wasn't the most detailed because it kind of came about at a really weird time when I was still in uni. I definitely would love to, but specifically like the psychology ones, I need inspiration. Would you guys be interested in seeing a series? They would take quite a lot of preparation and they wouldn't be able to happen too regularly, because obviously a series, it would be either maybe like a week of consistent uploads every day, or it would be once a month there will be a specific theme video. I don't know, it takes a lot of research, but if you want to see a series like that on my channel, then let me know. And if you have like a specific request for a series, please let me know. There are so many things I could do it on, so just give me an indication if any of you want to see those. Someone's asked me, some channels reach out to the families about the case. Do you think it's okay to do this? Now, I don't see anything wrong with it as long as you are being respectful. You know, you're not pushing for them to give you like the inside scoop on a case, because obviously they are so closely related to a case. So it could go one of two ways. If you're respectful, you know, if they are willing to give you information, then I don't see anything wrong with it. But as long as, you know, you maintain your distance, you're not trying to get any drama out of them, and you're not maybe using their name as a way of getting views or attention or anything like that. I'm not sure if there's anyone in particular that this is aimed at. I don't know. I'm really not like up to date with like any drama or anything. I personally don't see anything wrong with it, just as long as you are being respectful and, you know, not forcing it, making them feel like they have to give you information. If they're willing and you're willing, go for it. Someone's on my community tab, someone has asked if I will cover more psychological cases, and as I said, leave me all your requests because I have no idea. I'm a bit stuck. True crime YouTubers or TV shows. So true crime YouTubers, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of names on the screen because there are so many now. It's such a growing field. I think it's just growing in popularity, with people actually realising that true crime is really quite interesting, and you can really discuss some quite fascinating cases on this platform as true crime YouTubers. So I'll throw a bunch of the ones I know of on the screen. Definitely leave any that you know of that I haven't included on the screen in the comments below, because I'm always looking for more people to support in my same community. Do you mostly watch other true crime channels in your free time? What other things do you like to watch or learn about? So the real truth about this, I don't know how this is gonna go down. I really don't watch a lot of other true crime YouTubers in my spare time. I will, like I say, I spend virtually all of my spare time researching true crime and maybe listening to podcasts. But in terms of other YouTubers, I like to give support where I can, but there's a very fine line when you're a creator. You don't want to start comparing yourself to other people who make the same cases and same content, because obviously the way things happen, sometimes you do, or most of the time you will end up seeing a case that you've covered on other people's channels, and you don't want to start comparing yourself, maybe even start to doubt your own abilities to create videos because you think someone else is better, or you think, oh, they've done it differently to me, is theirs better or is mine better? And even you don't want to unintentionally take on someone's, you know, something that someone does specifically in a video. It's really hard to explain unless you're a creator. Like I say, I like to give support where I can. I do think we have a nice little community. We have a relatively like drama-free community, and I'm always there for anyone in true crime community for support if you need me. But I don't typically watch other people. I used to a lot, and that was very early on when I was really like getting into the community, but I don't. And I don't know how that's gonna go down. Are there any cases that you wouldn't cover? Yes. I think now that I've been doing this sort of content for a long time now, I have been able to sort of understand what sort of content I'm happy to cover, what sort of case in particular that I wouldn't ever cover. And I think personally, now at this point, I won't cover huge cases like Madeleine McCann, John Benet Ramsey. I think a lot of other YouTubers will say the same thing, because there doesn't seem to be anything new that I can add. If I make a video on it, I'm not adding anything new. I'm not maybe taking a new perspective. There's no new information. It just seems like they are cases that have been covered plenty, so I would literally just be reiterating someone's research somewhere because it's all the same facts. And also, everyone knows of these cases, and sometimes it's nicer. Everyone knows of these cases, like Madeleine McCann and John Benet Ramsey. Everyone knows the names and the faces of these missing children, and I don't think they will ever be forgotten at all. They will constantly be in so many people's minds. And there are a lot of cases out there, especially older ones or maybe smaller cases that don't really have a lot of information, that haven't had the same amount of focus on them in terms of like other true crime creators. So I like to try where I can and cover these smaller cases. I know you guys like to see like longer cases and longer videos, but sometimes I really pride myself on covering small cases that don't have a lot of information, because they're the ones whose names and faces aren't out there as much, and that is just my personal reason behind it. Again, I'm really worried about offending people. I hope I'm not offending anyone by saying any of this. I think that's where I'm going to end this video here. I think that is where I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys found this interesting. Let me know if you want me to do more of these types of videos again in the future, these slightly rambly, chatty, more personal videos. I would definitely be interested in doing them every now and then if you want kind of like a nice little update, whether it's true crime related or not. Let me know down below, because I'm literally always taking your guys' suggestions and everything. I read through every comment I can, and yes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, and I will see you guys very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.